everybody, Sean here. Just wanted to do a little honing session. I've been honing a lot recently. I try to hone once or twice a day. Today was my day off, so I honed 3 razors. 2 of those honing sessions was the same old razor, Gold Monkey, and we actually got 2 good edges, but I keep coming back and experimenting, trying to understand the stones. And one of the things I want to do more often than not is revisiting these synthetic stones, because they are kind of the bread and butter. Sometimes I use synthetics and then I go to a natural, go back to a synthetic, and I'm doing that in the same progression just to see where the stones are at. But anyways, today we are working with this Diamond King Shapleigh Lewis USA. And I don't remember what we did to it last time, so we will need to see where we're at. And one of the best ways to do that, at least for me, is using a little bit of Sharpie. See if we're hitting the edge or not. Okay. I'll leave that there for a while. Take this to the side. There we go. It's probably a little bit too much, but cleaning off the surface. This is my DMT. One of the ways I've been using these synthetics is kind of imagining they are a natural. And so I lap them just because I want to work on a flat surface. But at the same time, I do believe the slurry that this provides has a benefit to faster cutting speed. Okay, on this side we hit the entirety of the edge. Let's check this side. A little bit so, but some trouble on the heel here. But nothing that rolling X strokes can't fix. I've been having really good success with the Tsushima. I believe some people call it Tsushima Nagura. That's the big stone. I believe those are mined underwater. Or so I've read. I've also been using my little small conical. Mind you, that small conical is even smaller than this little stone, for reference. Okay. Yeah, we're hitting the entirety of that edge now. A little bit more water. And this is a, I would say this is like a 5/8 one thing with the naturals that has been happening to me, and the way I go around that, the blade starts sticking to the stone, and sometimes I believe the stone has more to give. I've been stropping, so I do about 10 laps on the linen and about 5 on the leather, and then I go back to the stone. It usually happens with water only, and I go back to the stone with water only, and I get about 10 to 15 more laps in, and then it starts sticking, and the slightest hint of stickiness makes me go to the strop again and do that, and then it gives me about 8 more laps, and then it starts sticking. I'll do, once I feel that's going to start sticking, do more laps on the strop, and then go back to the stone with water only, very clean water, and that gives me about 5 before I feel it start sticking again, and then I'm like, okay, that's good enough. But it has been giving me good results. I've had that happen with the cotton one, where it starts sticking, and I'm like, okay, and here we see some bubbles. That's a good sign in my book. Alrighty. Yeah, that looks great. Oh yeah, that's popping hair everywhere like crazy. Yep. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this 5K out of the equation, and I'm gonna use this little stone right here. This is kind of like a Nagura stone. The seller sells it kind of like a Nagura stone, but why not use it, right? I'm not sure you guys can listen to the difference between the 5K Shapton and this Mikawa. But this feels really smooth, velvety. I'm not sure if other people do this. The seller said this is around 6K grit, which is kind of what about a Nagura would be. And here it's starting to stick. So I'm going to clean the surface off. And I don't want to go back to my linen, so I'll just drop here. I know. Naturals don't have a grit. But the reason why I talk in grit size and grit particles is because we all know if you're straight razor honing or if you're honing, the system you probably know the most is the grit system with synthetics. So you know that the 800 is a lot coarser than the 5000. You see how easy that was now? Before it was sticking a lot, and now I feel like I can take this a lot further. Anyways, if I'm comparing a JNAT with a grid system, what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to go from coarser to finer. And if I have to say it that way, then I'll say it. Clean it again. Because at the end of the day, you have to go from a coarse abrasive to a finer abrasive, in my mind. And so I do like when sellers take their naturals and they say, okay, this is around so-and-so grit, because they are trying to communicate with you. This is around this coarse or this fine. And when you get the stone, you can do your own experiments and be, okay, yeah, maybe that is around that abrasive level of coarseness or fineness. And yeah, it is kind of similar to my other stones in this aspect. For example, I know this is a natural and this is a synthetic, but I know that this is slightly finer abrasive than this. And I know slurry has some part to play there. But yeah. I'll do a little bit more and stop there. Yeah, there it goes. It's smooth again. That should be good enough. I'll do a final strap here with the hand. For new guys like me, I feel like it's a big help to try and use words or language that we can understand. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's popping like crazy. And I've been doing a lot of honing with my naturals alongside my synthetics. And like I said, it's a big help. Because now I know with water, this is finer than this, with water only. So yeah, the seller said this was around 6K, and I believe him, because my edge gets better when I go water only here, than if I were just to like stay here and keep honing and keep honing. And if I had an edge that was of this Nagura, and then I go into this this 5K, my edge would slightly get worse. So if somebody else came to me and said, oh, this stone, what grit does it have? I understand that he's trying to tell me how fine or how coarse is this. And so I would, if he did say, oh, is that like a 6K? I know this is not a 6K per se, but I know what he's trying to get at. Is this a fine stone? Is this like a middle of the road stone where you have to do most of your work? Is this a bevel setter? I'll say no, this is not a bevel setter. It's not a finisher. It gets better for my 5K, so I would say it's around 5 to 6K or 5 to whatever. So that's just my thought on things. Because I've seen on some posts on the forum, you get this new guy asking about JNATs, and he says, I'm looking at this one, and I'm looking kind of for like a finisher, 10K, 12K, and then you always get this other person that knows more than anybody else, and then they're like, no, they don't have Ks, they're naturals. Yeah, he probably gets it. He probably knows that already. He's just trying to communicate what he's looking for. Maybe he's using another sort of language. Anyways, I'm rambling on. Probably go into the Kadi, and then from the Kadi, I'll either go to the Black Arc or to the Slate. Anyways, guys. I'm not usually gonna make videos like this talking about ranting, because this was a rant. I'm sorry, but I hope you guys enjoy. And before I leave, I want to say I'm new to this hobby. I might be wrong. That's okay. It's just what I've seen so far. It's what I think I know so far, and I'm open to being taught. I'm open to being wrong, because from being wrong, you grow. From doing mistakes, you grow. So if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I am not an authority on honing, and nobody is, I believe. But yeah, and that's that. Hope you guys have a good one. Peace.